Yo, what's going on YouTube? This is your boy D Wayne bringing you yet another YouTube video at this time. So basically what I'm going to be doing with you guys today is bringing you guys my Fire Fist deck profile. So you guys already know that we got the new support in Fist of the Gadgets, and it's definitely giving a real good boost to the deck. It can generate some very, very good boards. So yeah, so I basically got all the cards together. I am missing one Eland and extra horse prints, but other than that the deck is pretty much complete at this time. So yeah guys, let's not waste any more time. Let's get straight into the deck profile. Alright guys, as always, starting off with the monsters. Alright, first we have two Fire Fist Pandas. Now this is one of the new cards that came out of the set, of course. It's a really solid card. Its first effect is when a fire formation spell trap card is activated, you can special summon this card from your hand. And when you do that, you can special summon a Fire Fist monster from your graveyard. Also, while this card is on the field, if any of your Fire Fist or Beast Warrior monsters are to be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can remove a fire formation spell trap card from the field to protect your fire formation cards, your monsters from said effects. So that includes, the usual Reggae, Dark Hole, and stuff like that. So yeah, it's really good, really solid, good turn, good, extender for your plays and stuff to allow you to get more advantage on field so you can continue your plays and stuff. So yeah, really good. Next we have two elephants. Also another one of the newer cards to come out in the set. So what this one does is when it's normal summon, you can send a fire formation from your field to the graveyard to special summon another Fire Fist monster from your hand. And also you can shuffle a fire formation spell or trap back into the deck to search a level 5 or higher fire formation monster. So that includes your panda or the Eland as well. So the ritual is searchable as well. So this card's really solid as well for either link plays, or you can go to rank 4 plays, your Tiger Kings, your Cardinals and stuff like that. So really good. Next we have one Fire Fist Ram. So it's a level 3, 800, 200 defense. So what this one does is when it's normal summoned, you can send a card from your hand to the graveyard and target one fire formation spell or trap on your field, and then you can set one that's different from it and the ones in the graveyard from your deck. So it's a little much just to set one fire formation, but that's just the way it is. So the discard cost is very important because you can discard things that you can summon off dragon or off panda to set up plays from there. So it does have some setup implications, but not really necessary because probably Raven is probably the best level 3, but this is it's a name to use. Alright, so next we have is a Fire Formation Dragon. Now this card is unnecessarily expensive. These ones in particular are the Duelist League ones. You can only get these through special means. They managed to have them in my local card shop, so I managed to pick them up. They were like $50 from what they told me, but I managed to get it $35 because they had dropped in price by the time I bought them. So yeah, basically what Dragon does is you can when a fire formation spell is activated, you can set one fire formation trap from your deck and set it onto the field, and you can remove two fire formation spell traps from the field to special summon a Fire Fist monster from your graveyard. Obviously Eagle on the field for free, so yeah, you guys already know. And its effect is not once per turn, so it's one effect per card, of course, so you know how that goes. Next we have two bears, of course. It pops a monster by sending a fire formation, free with Eagle, of course. Two gorillas, same concept of course, except with spells and traps. Then we have one leopard. Alright, so leopard, when when it's on the field, you can tribute it and set one fire formation spell from your deck. And what's the other effect? Is that all it does? Tribute one fire formation, set one fire formation spell, trap card from your deck. You'd only use this effect once per turn. Okay, so tribute is to set one fire formation spell, trap. Then we have two Roosters. Really solid card. When special summon off a Fire Fist monster's effect, you can search a fire formation monster from your deck to your hand. And also, while it's on the field, you can send a fire formation spell trap to the graveyard to set another fire formation spell trap from the deck. Also, free with Eagle. Really good. Now we have two Ravens. Basically, when this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can set one fire formation spell a trap. And this is not a once per turn effect, so it can be abused through multiple means. So we have two Spirits. So Spirit allows you, with normal summon, to special summon a level 3 Fire Fist monster from your graveyard with normal summoned, and that's about it. It also stops you from attacking with anything except Beast Warriors for a turn, but obviously that doesn't matter. So yeah, so you can use this, special summon your Roosters or your Ram or Raven to set up plays from there. Next we have one Fire Formation Buffalo. So while this card is in the graveyard, you can remove two Fire Formation spell traps to special summon this from the graveyard. Obviously free with Eagle. So this card is really good as an extender for your plays, your rank 4 plays, your link plays, or whatever plays you happen to be doing at the time. Alright, so that is it for the Fire Formations, and we just have two Ash and two Veilers for your hand traps. Alright, so that is it for your monsters. Let's go ahead and do the spells. Alright, so first we have two Fire Formation Domain. So this is one of the new Fire Formation spells. So basically this is the ritual spell card that summons the Eland from your hand. And also when it's sent to the graveyard, you can add a Fire Formation monster from your graveyard to your hand, which is really good. Secondly, we have Fire Formation Engine. This is the fusion spell for the fusion monster Swan. So this one lets you fusion summon from the hand or face up on the field, of course. And when this, wait a minute, I got the effects mixed up. So this one special summons the Fire Formation monster from the graveyard when it's sent to the graveyard. And this one, when sent to the graveyard, adds the Fire Formation monster to your hand. Alright? Make sure I got that right. Next we have the field spell. It's a really good field spell. So basically while it's on the field and you normal summon, special summon your Fire Fist monsters, you can generate a counter. And this one has varying effects depending on how many counters you remove. So two, basically everything gets a not a Fairy Meteor Crush, but a what's this card? Basically you can't activate anything to after damage check. I forgot the level 5 synchro that basically this effect is based off of, but yeah. And 6, you get to special summon a Fire Fist monster from your deck. And if you remove 10, you can wait a minute. 6, you can search a Fire Formation monster, and then 10, you can special summon a Fire Formation monster from your deck or extra deck, ignoring the summoning conditions. So, obviously, Heraclinos, Leo Dancer, or any of the Beast Warrior monsters that are in your extra deck. So yeah, so it's pretty good. Especially I like the 2-1 because I find myself using that more. That's because, when you're going in for a game and stuff, you'd want to have that so that your opponent cannot activate anything while you're attacking. So no battle traps and no monster effects or anything like that after damage step while my monsters are attacking. So yeah. Alright. 2 Tenzus, of course. This will get you your second summon of your Beast Warrior monsters. 3 Tinkies, of course. One of the most important cards in the deck because it searches your level 4 or lower Beast Warrior monsters so that you can set up plays. Now we have some staples. Call by the Grave, of course. You have to be able to get your plays through. It's very imperative, especially when your eagle is up. You know your opponent's going to want to, Valor or try some way to get rid of your eagle. So you need these Call by the Braves to keep your eagle safe so that you can make your plays. We have Dark Hole, Foolish, and Monster Reborn for more staples. Alright, so that is it for the spells. We're going to go into the traps. Alright, first we have Fire Formation, Ultimate Fire Formation Saito, or Sentu. Basically, it's your counter trap. It negates spells and traps, but you have to control a Fire Formation monster and a Fire Formation spell or trap in order to activate this card. So it's a pretty interesting yet easy, requirement to fulfill, because the deck, it moves a lot. So you can get the requirements for this, but it definitely should have done more for the requirements on the field, regardless of how easy it is to set it up. But yeah, it is what it is on that end. And then we have 2 Fire Formation Tenzins. Nice battle trap for offense and defense, of course. Opponents attacking, especially into your eagle, because they want to get rid of that as quickly as possible. You can activate this on the eagle, making it a 2700 attack monster, and you can just attack over the opponent's monster, leaving eagles safe, hopefully, for the rest of the turn. Alright. Then we have the staples, of course. 3 Solemn Strikes, of course. This is definitely important because Nibiru hurts Fire Fist, of course, because when you're going off, they can drop the Nibiru, tripling all of your monsters, and, special summoning it to the field and just completely crushing your field setup. So, being able to negate that with Solemn Strike or with Elan is definitely crucial in, setting up your board and, proceeding with games and stuff. So, yeah. Alright, so that is it for the deck. We're going to go into the extra deck. Oops, my bad. Alright, so first we have 1 Fire Fist Peacock. Basically, it steals a monster when it's attacking. It puts it in the zone it's pointing to and stuff like that, and it can't be attacked while it's pointing to a Fire Fist monster. So you can have it set up with Eagle and Peacock to take the monster, and since it's pointing, you can do whatever it is you want to do. It gets the monster that's a problematic monster from the opponent's field, so that you can attack into other monsters or attack directly if that happens to be the only monster on the field. So it has an implication in there, but I don't really use it that much. It's pretty good though. Alright, so what is this card name? 1 Firefight Dorma Doll. It's an interesting card. It's a Beast Warrior, of course, requiring 2 Beast Warrior monsters. So it gains 100 attack for each Beast Warrior, and Winged Beast monster on the field. Obviously, Clody itself. And once per turn, I believe it can add a fire monster from your graveyard to your hand. So let me read this out. Alright, this card gains 100 attack for each Beast Warrior, and Winged Beast monster on the field. Once per turn, you can target 1 spell or trap on each field, destroy them, and when this card destroys a monster by battle, you can target one of your Beast Warrior, Winged Beast monsters that is banished or in your graveyard and add it to the hand. So that's pretty good. So this works with the new Fire Formation cards, the Dome and the Engine, so you can destroy that and destroy one of their cards, spell or traps, and you can get the either the Dome or Engine's effect to get one to the hand or to special summon. And well, if it happened to be banished, you can get it too. That's interesting, but doesn't really come up obviously. And this also gets powered up off the Fire Formation card, since it's a Beast Warrior, of course. So there is a chance you may kill something and get your Beast Warrior back to your hand. So it has some interesting implications. Nice little interesting tech choice that I found. Alright, next we have 2 Eagles. Now this is probably the most important card in the deck, period, because of its implications and how it interacts with the entire Fire Fist deck. So let's explain. So basically what this does is it allows all of your Your fire formation monsters to activate, the cost for their effects for free. They don't have to pay cost to activate. Even if you don't have the requirements to activate said Fire Fist monsters effect, you can still gain the effect without having the requirements for it. So that's very important. A very important distinction when dealing with Equal and the rest of your Fire Fist monsters. So also it has a second ability to where it returns a Fire Formation spell or trap from your field or in your graveyard back to the hand to send one Fire Formation monster to your graveyard. So that sets up some pretty decent plays as well. So it can set up Buffalo. You can send Buffalo from the deck to the graveyard with that, or you can send anything else to have it, be summonable off of Dragon and off of Panda's effect as well. So sets up some pretty decent scenarios to where you have more field presence so that you can make more plays. So yeah, this card is it right here. Alright, so next we have two Fire Fist Tiger Kings. Really decent card. This requires two level 4 Beast Warrior type monsters. And when this card is summoned, summoned, you can set one Fire Formation Spell or Trap card from your deck and set it onto the field. And it has a secondary ability that when it's sent from the field to the graveyard, you can special summon you can remove 3 Fire Formation Spell or Traps to special summon 2 level 4 or lower Beast Warrior type monsters from your deck. So obviously free with Eagle, of course. So yeah, you can set up your dragon loop play, so you can send this to the graveyard, special summon 2 dragons. Since they have the same attack, that's another distinction. The monsters you summon off the Tiger King's effect both have to have the same attack. So basically you can summon 2 dragons, 2 bears, you can summon 2 roosters, or a bear and a gorilla, or just as long as they have the same attack, you can summon them from the deck. So yes, so that is pretty good. And also it has a secondary ability to where you can remove 1 material to negate all face-up monsters effects that aren't Beast Warrior monsters. So yeah, so that's really good when you're, pushing for damage or pushing for games, so that you don't have any, pesky monster effects getting in the way while you're trying to attack and, push for damage and stuff like that. So this card is really solid for the deck, of course. Next we have 2 Fire Fist Cardinals. So this card is really solid as well. So you can remove 2 materials from this card to shuffle 2 Fire Fist or Fire Formation Spell Trap cards from your field or in your graveyard back into the deck to shuffle cards on your opponent's side of the field from the field or in the graveyard back into the deck as well. So this card is good for replenishing your supplies and removing, threats from the field or in the graveyard. So that's really good. It serves a dual purpose for discarding 2 materials. It's really good. Then we have 1 Fire Fist Horse Prince. This card, when summoned, you can special summon a Fire Fist monster, or is it a specific level 3? Yeah, it's 1 level 3 fire monster from your deck. So for the rest of the turn, you can't special summon level 5 or higher monsters after you activate this effect. So basically, Horse Prince summons your Rooster or your Raven if you want to set up plays to that. But mostly you're going to summon Rooster off this, because when your Rooster summoned off Fire Fist monster's effect, you get a search and then you set up plays from there. So this card is good for setting up plays as well. Oh, another distinction, be careful, you cannot summon Panda the turn you activate this. So if you use Rooster, it's probably best to not search the Panda off of it unless you're trying to set up for something, but not that turn, maybe for another turn. But otherwise, you search something else and set up for plays from there. Alright, so lastly we have Fire Formation Swan. So this one, when fusion summoned, you can burn your opponent for 200 damage per each Fire Formation Spell or Trap card. So you can have up to 6, or you can burn for up to 1200 damage. And basically it has a quick effect, destruction effect on battle. When you're battling, you can send a Fire Formation Spell Trap to the graveyard to pop a card on your opponent's side of the field. So it's really good for disruption. Yeah, it's pretty good for disruption, and it has a decent 2600 attack as well. So it's a really solid card. All right, that is it for the deck. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the deck profile. Let me know what you guys think of fire formations. It's definitely a solid deck, and it's not broken or anything. It has some inherent weaknesses, of course. So, of course, if you guys are interested, let me know what you guys think, and I will leave that as that. So I'll be bringing you guys more videos in the meantime. But until then, pieces, YouTube.